Hey everyone, Dan from Heavy Metals here. Happy Sunday. I'm going to try and do a video at least every Sunday, maybe make it into a series. Let's see what happens. But how we doing? We crossed 100 subscribers. I'm so grateful to you guys. Thank you so much. We got another video today, and I am doing a topic that I did not think would ever happen to me. Judging by the title, it is not clickbait. This actually happened to me last Wednesday. So the job I work for, the company I work for, does a lot of events, and they do a lot of, they hire entertainment and stuff like that. So we put on a lot of events, right? So the main client we had was somebody that was doing a mixer. So they were trying to gain clients, and hire a bunch of other people as clients. So there were many, many different companies at this event. And, food, entertainment, stuff like that. And so there I am, on one of the stations, and many people are coming up to me. I could see on their lanyards, they have different companies. And the first person that caught my eye was this woman from Fidelity. That's right, the broker, Fidelity. I was like, wow, you're from Fidelity. And she goes, yeah. And she was like, you know us? I said, yeah. And she goes, well, thank you for being a customer. And I was like, you're welcome. Now, she doesn't know this, but I like Schwab way better than Fidelity. But that's a different story for a different video. And so she was very nice. She got some food and left. The second person that I had the fortune of meeting, I guess you could say, because, was this woman from the Federal Reserve. I couldn't believe it when I saw it on her lanyard, on her little tag there. She was from the Dallas Federal Reserve Bank. And I was like, wow, you're from the Fed. And she goes, yeah, I am. And then she was like, you know about the Fed? I said, yeah, I know about the Fed. And of course, I was starting to get a little more hesitant. She goes, I hope you've heard good things. And that's when I fell silent for like maybe, 10 seconds as she's getting some food. And then I say, well, I like to buy gold and silver a lot. I tell you what, if looks could kill, I'd be dead. Because this woman, she went from smiling to just cold. And I was just like, oh, okay. There are the hot dogs and tater tots and things. You have a good day. And she left. I was like, wow, that conversation turned on a 180 real quick. So that made me go, oh, I got to make a video about this. So rather than just do like a typical, gold video or something, this one, I was just like, okay, this is different. Got to do this. This is what an experience that was. She was happy at first. And then as soon as I mentioned gold, that was it. That was it. I don't know how she feels about silver, but gold was all she needed to hear. And she was done. She just got whatever she was going to eat and left. And so, and I was just like, oh, have a good day. But anyway, that made me really start thinking more about gold. And you'll notice I have some platinum over here too. I have my 1 ounce Australian kangaroo platinum coin here. And let me just show you the reverse, this opposite side. There you go. All right. Most of like the world coins will have Queen Elizabeth on there, or now King Charles. But anyway, and of course I have my 1 ounce Scottsdale Mint gold bar. All right. I've shown this a couple times. I'm probably going to add some more gold. But I'm also thinking about adding some more platinum. So I could talk about that in a little bit in a different video. But so the bottom line here is that, I don't know, it just made me think about our government and how they're just playing around with their money. They are playing around hard. And I heard that just the other day, the national debt surpassed GDP. Something like that. Either the national debt or the debt spending or whatever surpassed GDP. And the more I hear stuff like that, the more it makes me just say, yeah, no, I got to buy more. Got to buy more gold, silver, platinum, palladium, Palladium, I have the misfortune of only owning grams, not full ounces, but you know. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that actually happened to me. It was this past Wednesday. I actually met an official from the Federal Reserve, and that was a completely 180 interaction. She was nice at first, and then I mentioned gold, and that was it. She was out of there like you wouldn't believe. So, and another thing I was thinking about was platinum versus gold. And I do like gold a lot, of course. But it also makes me think about our government when it comes to platinum, because there was a congressman, I believe two of them, that wanted to mint a $1 trillion platinum coin so that they can help pay off the national debt. And of course, that may still be a thing down the line, but those proposals died out pretty quick. So every once in a while they start bringing up precious metals again in terms of being more involved in the government currency and all that. I strongly believe we're heading back to a gold standard in general. Whether it be a mixed metal standard with some people backing their money with gold, silver, platinum, all of that. But the gold standard, I believe, will come back one day, and I do believe that it won't be the U.S. to go back on the gold standard on its own. I believe that the world is going to just abandon U.S. dollars as much as they can, without facing any consequences as much as, I don't know about that. A lot of consequences are to be had by the U.S. military these days if you do something they don't like. But hey, you know what? If anything ever goes dark, you have your metals. So that's been on my mind lately. And, with the $1 trillion platinum coin that they could easily still mint, I don't know what that's going to do to platinum itself per ounce. But, man, very, very interesting times we're in. Gold, very interesting times that we're in. And the Fed, I believe, is on the clock, because I don't think they're going to be able to do this stuff, play their funny games for much longer. They've already cracked several times. There are cracks forming, in our monetary system, but the dam hasn't broke yet, and even in 2021, 2022, when we experienced all those huge price increases, we're still here. The monetary system has not collapsed yet. I do believe we're moving further and further off the U.S. dollar. The world is, anyway. They keep stacking, all the banks and institutions keep stacking precious metals, and it's going to eventually become time. So keep stacking. Thank you guys for watching. And please like and subscribe to the channel. All right, this has been Dan with Heavy Metals.